Alright, look how much money we
Hey guys, welcome. We're just kind of going to go over our Army lists for Nova. I noticed some of the guys at GBHL have already put up some stuff this week, so I figured we'll go ahead and do the same, let you guys know what we're bringing to Nova. Brandon and I from the Colorado group, you've seen us play the World Campaign on my channel and stuff like that, and we're going to actually be able to go out to Nova together. So this is one of two forces that I've actually been building for some tournaments that we usually run yearly in Colorado called Mayhem in the Mountains, and we do that every November. So when we get out to Nova, I'll be handing out some of those flyers. I want to kind of focus on Brandon's army that he's going to be bringing. He's actually recording, so I'll just kind of go over what he's going to bring for Gondor. So 700 points, we're spamming units with Gondor. He's got basically 5 war bands, which is going to be nice. He's got a decent amount of might. He's got 3 heroes in the lead war bands that have 3 might apiece, and then he's got the cheaper heroes with Damrod and Baragon, so those are staples for Gondor. He's got a good mix of defense 6 along his front line with a lot of fight 4 rangers with spears, which are really solid. So I think they're the bread and butter of the Gondor force. I think the Gondor Ranger is probably the best unit that Gondor can field for the points. It gives your line fight 4, which is really important. It also gives your line probably the second best shooting I've seen on the good side. I mean, Elvish bows are really solid, but these guys hit on the 3+, and the fact that they can spear support and give your line fight 4, I just think they're probably the best unit that I've learned to play with Gondor. So we've got that build. He's also got 8 of the Fountain Court. So these are basically all the troops that you would see in the Return of the King movie during the Battle of Osgiliath, as well as the Siege of Gondor, along with pretty much all the heroes that would still be around at the time. So he's got Faramir leading his army. Faramir's going to have heavy armor and the shield, which is up here, and we went ahead and put a shield. We made a shield proxy and put that on there for him. So he's got a shield, so he's defense 7. He's not mounted, but the idea of this army is just, it's a horde army. It's going to swarm, it's going to form battle lines, it's going to shoot at you, it's going to skirmish with you, it's going to go after objectives. You've got Madril, which is a great hero to basically, for a couple of scenarios where you come on the board randomly or reconnoiter, where you roll and to see if your armies show up or if they stay off the board for a turn or 2. Madril's a great hero to help your entire force get on the table turn 1 by increasing those dice rolls, so he's really good. He's also a woodland creature, so he can move through terrain with a lot of the rangers and stuff like that. So again, we've got a lot of warriors of Minas Tirith that are you know, defense 6. We have over the shoulders with spears, a lot of spear support. So we've got a tremendous amount of troops. We've got basically 54 models in this army, including, you know, 5 heroes. I think there's 10 mights.
No.
Let me see. There's 3, 6, 9. There's actually 11 might in this army, 54 models and 5 war bands. So Brandon really have the advantage of using that deployment to figure out where to best deploy his units for the scenario, where to best counterattack the general at, and basically pick and choose his battles and go after his objectives. So I think this army is really good. I think it's got a high model count, so it'll keep them from getting broken. It also has a good amount of shooting. He's got 19 bows in this army. They hit on the 3+ if they're not moving, which is really good for those, if he's going up against cavalry that want to get in a shooting match with him. He's got basically defense 6 in front of all his archers, so he can play the shooting game all day long with cavalry that have shots. So, and then if they do come in charge, he's got basically 54 models to counter the horses coming in. So I think it's a really solid army. It's got a lot of forgiveness to it, so if you're not rolling hot, you've got enough models that hopefully the dice will come back around and do you right. So this is kind of what we did. We used the Osgiliath ruins for the display board. We painted that up, and then this is actually tile that I got at Home Depot that you would lay down like in your bathroom, and so we just put like a border around it and painted the border, you know, kind of stone looking, and just kind of made a nice little display board for it. So when you guys are out of Nova, come by and you can take a look at some of these models and get closer in on them. I went over all these models again, washed them all again, started using washes with them, got a lot more detail on them than I have in the past. Painted eyes on them too. And normally, in the past I had them all just have dark lines for the eyes, and now I've actually painted pupils and irises and all that good stuff, so you can see that as well. So that in a nutshell is the GT Force that Brandon's going to be bringing. He's going to be playing that. It's the Minas Tirith Force. Once again, 54 models, 700 points. He breaks at 27 models, and get him to 25%. You got to get him down to 13 models, which is going to be kind of hard to do, I think, with the time allowed for each of the matches. So I think Brandon's got a real good chance of not ever getting broken. So he may get that, maybe get that Gimli helmet of hardest to break armies. So we'll have to see if that's the case. Anyways, the next thing we'll do, we'll pause the video here, and then I'll move over the army that I'm going to be bringing, which is going to be the Witch King army, and I'll go over that build. So again, this is the Minas Tirith Force that Brandon's going to be running at Nova, and we'll show you the Mordor Force. Okay, so this is the army that I'm going to be bringing. If you guys have watched my channel in the past, you've seen this army basically being worked over the last year or so. I finally got the display board the way I like it. I had watched the scene a couple of times and realized that the front of the castle didn't quite look like Minas Morgul, so I wanted to kind of go for the effect of getting those walls to jet out. So I made the walls here and put them off over jetting out so that there's no mistake. I put some of the extra design there around the gate themselves to get the spikes down and get more of the spikes along the top there as well. I also found a pretty good size of the gargoyles that sit out front, and I was able to get one of those in time, and I made a mold of that, so I made a second one so I could have a pair of gargoyles just like in the film. And then if you notice up on the front there, I also put the beginning of the winding stairs, and we have Frodo and Sam and Gollum, and they're climbing up the stairs just as the Witch King is leaving his fortress to lead his armies to the Pelennor and basically lay siege to Gondor. So I put a little quote from the movie at this specific scene when Gandalf was talking to, I believe it's Pippin, could be Merry. No, I think Merry's with Rohan, so I think it's Pippin, and he's basically telling them that you know, this is the board is set, the pieces are moving. Now comes the great battle of Arthur. So that's kind of the theme of the army. Is I wanted to do the Witch King. I went with an evil force. It's basically a representation of the army that comes out of the fortress that attacks. I do have 6 Númenóreans, which basically they guard Minas Morgul in the books, and he employs them. They work for the Witch King, so I put a smattering of them in there. I use them on a flank with the Witch King to cause some terror and to get some terror against, help prevent against some counter charges and stuff like that. But it's basically all orcs and a mix of Morannon orcs and orcs with shields and spears. I got an orc shaman in there, a couple of orc captains, a banner in there, and yeah, just a bunch of orcs. I do have the Witch King on Fellbeast. I actually used a little bit of the jeweler's wire here for lasso, so my girlfriend said that she thought that the jeweler's wire would work really well for that, so I went ahead and I cut up a little bit of pieces of those and just glued those on there and then painted them up black, so I think it really makes them come together there. So I have the Witch King there. Basically this army has 49 models, so it does have another high model count similar to Brandon's build with Gondor, which is basically a lot of troops. The Witch King has a Crown of Morgul. He's got 3 might, 3 will, and 7 extra fate. So he's going to be kind of an attack combat wraith, but he's also a great caster. He's got Your Staff is Broken, which is something that the other Nazguls don't have. And honestly, for flavor-wise, I mean, he's really the only named Nazgul in my book. I mean, of all the movies and the books and stuff like that, everyone knows the Witch King of Angmar. So that's the one Nazgul I'm running. I'm not running the, you know, the Knight of Umbar or the Undying or anything like that. It's the Witch King, and this is the army that he leads. So that's, I mean, that's the theme of my army. So I also have, there's really no shooting in this army. It basically relies on just spamming the battlefield with orcs with over-the-shoulder spear support. I've got the Fury so I can countercharge terrifying monsters if I'm playing against evil with my orcs, and I've got Fear as well with the small amount of Numenorians that are protecting the castle up here. Like I said, they kind of flank with the Witch King so he can go and you know, he's going to manipulate the battlefield. He's going to go out there, he's going to cast and some sap will and some compels and transfixes and move some models around and crash into some lines and fight some troops and get some hurls and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to use them for. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video real quick. We're going to turn on the lights so that you guys can get the green glow of this, and we'll end the video with turning the lights out completely so you just see it all in the dark there. So again, this is my army that I'm going to be bringing from Nova. It's basically a pure Mordor force. The Witch King will be my leader. He's got 4 war bands, got 2 orc captains in there, a Mordor orc shaman, 49 model counts, 700 points. I break it 24, and you got to get me down to 12 to get to 25%. And like I said, I just put Frodo, Sam, and Gollum in there for a little bit of the theme. So they're not in the army list, obviously, but they're there to make the diorama look complete. I'll go ahead and pause it, and I'll get the lights going for you. Okay, so that's with the luminescent glow going on there, so you really get to look at the feel of that part of the scene, Peter Jackson's vision of Minas Morgul and the Witch King going to war. Basically what I did was I gutted a couple of flashlights and took some stained glass solution from Michael's and stained glass the cover of those of the insides of the flashlights, and I laid them flush inside the tower there, and then I just used some green stuff to hold that flush in there, and then yeah, I just hook up a couple of batteries to the back of it here through the wires, and so it just shoots that green glow up there. I think it brings the whole diorama together, really focuses in on the Witch King. I've done some detail work on him. I'm sure when the light's not shining you can see some of the veins on his wings that I put in this year. Did some more veins along his body and his torso. And again with this army as well, I took the extra time to do all the washes. I put up a video of some washes. So I did some washing on those guys, highlight the lights and the darks, blended a little bit more, redid all the bases again, cleaned up all the rocks on the bases, and just it's complete now. I'm pretty satisfied with where it's at. I mean, like I said, this is definitely going to be something that I'm going to be running this November here in the Colorado Mayhem in the Mountains. This will probably be the last time I play these 2 builds, and then next year I'll focus on maybe building some Hobbit armies, but I wanted to get these ones 100% the way I wanted them, and I think I finally got to that point. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope Brandon and I do rather well at Nova. We're definitely looking forward to going out there, having some fun games, getting to meet all the people in the community, and hopefully grow the hobby. You know, just do some networking out there and meet some people and talk some strategies and talk some gaming and have some fun. So this is what Colorado is bringing to not Mayhem, but what Colorado is bringing to Nova. So hopefully I'll represent this part of the country well, and do some battle reports out there, and we'll definitely get some recordings, so hopefully some player interviews with some of the guys that came over from England and DC, and talk to them and go over their armies and maybe get some battle reports as well. So go ahead and finish this up, turn off the lights, and we'll call it a night. Thanks again for watching, and feel free to leave comments below and subscribe, and we will see you guys soon. So we made it here to Nova. Brandon and I are here. Just got to the gaming room where we've got all the display boards out here. So, ready to win some games today? All right, cool. We'll go ahead and show couple of things here. We got Azog's mace there. There's the fabled Lake Town board. You guys some of this. Amazing. Just gorgeous. Goblin Town table. We've got a skillet table here. Deep. It's like ruins of Osgiliath there, or Dead Marshes, probably. Or ruins of Arnor, possibly. Corsairs. Some really amazing tables. So yeah, that's some of the boards that they've got here on display that they're allowing people to play on. So hopefully we'll get some interviews in with some people that have traveled from all over. Not Lord of the Rings, but I thought I'd show you guys this. Pretty awesome. It's over 7 feet long. Well, that's how you play X-Wing. Here we are at Nova, first match of the GT. I'm playing against Luke, who's got his Isengard fist, as he likes to call it, just crushing into the center of my army here. And I think this is turn 3. So we've got my Mordor list against his pure Isengard list. I'm going to get some of his models here on camera here. He just called a heroic with Saruman. So he trumped my priority. And his captains are eating through my line. And the Witch King keeps getting tied up over here by the lone Isengard guy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he shot me up, but
okay.
But now it's.
Got a goblin army here. Are you okay if I put this up on YouTube?
Sure.
Okay, great. Oh, can I get your name too?
Chris.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Chris.
Chris, the last name?
Snow. Chris Snow.
Okay, great. So what you got? What'd you bring here?
I have Moria goblins. So they all have shields. They have like their elite unit, the black shields with them.
Yeah.
And they have a troll and 2 marauders just for fun.
Ah, yeah. How'd your marauders do?
Well, the marauders only got into 2 fights. They had to run all the way around the board to get there, so I kind of had a misplacement at the beginning, but I was able to win the game, luckily, just by the sheer numbers of goblins. So
Nice. I love that chain.
thank you.
That is cool. Let me get that. Awesome. Gorgeous army, man. Gorgeous. I won my match too, so great. Can I get your name and your army here?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm Sam Taylor.
Okay.
I came with Chandler and my brother were from Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
I put this force together this morning. I was planning on taking Mirkwood to the GT, but there's just so much Mirkwood here, I thought I'd come up with something a bit different. So this is Haldyr's Wood Elves in Lorien, and then I'm trying to replicate the point of the movie where the Fellowship come and stay at Haldyr's
Encounters, yeah.
And so I could only fit these 3 in. To make it any competitive at all, I really need Galadriel, Lady of Light.
Well, she was there in the film, so.
Yeah. So
Great.
I've had uber fun today playing it. I was just saying that one turn I killed 2 troll chieftains in the second turn of the game.
Chieftains, 2
2
of them.
troll chieftains, yeah. Used 10 might to do it.
Yeah, but that you just got almost 300 points off the table.
Yeah, it was worth it.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Let me guess the 2 models that were involved in that. Aragorn and Boromir.
Oh, it's more than just that. I think Galadriel landed a heroic strike. Legolas landed a heroic strike, and then Aragorn and Boromir put in the punching power.
Outstanding. Love it.
Yeah, it was great. Good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So you just started one up?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I started one like, what, 2.5 months ago, 3
Awesome.
months ago.
And it's going to be Canadian based then?
Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of the tournaments, same with Sam and that too, as well as battle reports.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey guys, Adam. Sorry, I'll let you hit.
No, go ahead.
All right, so Adam here. So here from Ontario, in Canada, at the Nova Open in Arlington, Virginia. Myself and a few other Canadians came up. So if you haven't known, Blackfire Productions, also on YouTube, so you can check out that for some of the stuff. We have Radagast on display here that you were just checking out, as well as this great eagle that he had on him. One of my favorite models by far, Radagast. You know, great for maneuverability, great for the magic ability. Like you can sort of focus in on who you're wanting by immobilizing that person, then charging them. And with Sebastian, he has 6 attacks on the charge, so the chances you're rolling a 6, you know, no matter what. So
then you get the knock to the ground and the double dice
all the attacks and stuff like that.
Wow.
So he's a beast in combat if he gets the charge off. Even when he doesn't get the charge off, he's still pretty good because you're still getting 5 attacks, right? You're not knocking to the ground, mind you, but it's still pretty hefty. And on top of that, though, for all your other heroes or multi-models like the Eagle, he can start casting Renew on a 3+. Use his free will a turn, whatever, start casting. And so really, you can cast it on his sleigh, say somebody's attacking his sleigh, cast it on his sleigh, start renewing that, keep it alive.
But there's a great match with
yeah, so a couple of guys that I use, I usually mix them in with Mirkwood and stuff like that, like Thranduil or Legolas and stuff. But I have tried them with Rivendell Cavalry, like Rivendell Knights, and it works very well as well. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. How you doing so far?
So far in the GT, I have won 2, lost 1.
Okay.
So point-wise, I'm sitting at about the 21 mark, which is okay. You know what I mean?
We got 2 more rounds tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, so you can make up the points.
For sure. And really, I don't care if I don't make up the points because I'm having a great time. It's something I'm going to come back to. This is the Nova Open. So
this definitely has been an exceptional event.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Thursday's events were fun. They were loose.
Yeah.
And then you've got your hardcore gamers here for the tournament the next 2 days. Plus, they've got some great terrain that amazing.
Yeah, Walker does a great job on the train. I gotta say, his skills are awesome. Yeah, we didn't get anything in on Thursday because we drove down from Canada that day, 12 hours. So, but yeah, Friday we did the doubles, and then we're in the GT. So,
okay, great, cool. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you again.
Thanks, man.
All right. Now, we have a favorite armies being held now. All right, gentlemen. Have it. To let you guys know, this award is split into good and evil. So everyone's favorite good force, we're going to go ahead and crown them King of Gondor. It's going to be Andrew.
For Gondor!
Next, the favorite evil army. Who starts your army strong? Troll helmet, that works out. That one goes to Austin Bett. All right. So, next, before we get into the action prizes, the GBHL are going to nominate a player for the best sportsmanship, one of the best experiences they had in gaming. Gentlemen, one of you can come up here. Hey, Damien, come on up. Put you in the spotlight. SBG Magazine. Free cup. And who do you choose?
Obviously it was quite tricky because we all played different people, except one. So we are giving it to the person that we all played, and the entire British team played, which is Mr. Bradley.
Alright. Now the moment you guys have been waiting for. Of course, the suspense is going out. The third place. All right. Third place with 37 points. It's going to
Good job.
Second place, they're going to get, actually I'll show you. This is the Wetton Workshop Smout.
Nice. Nice.
It is with 40 points, Damian O'Brien.
Good job, man. Good job.
What you guys wait for? Who's the one who dominated this GT? And it had to be, of course. Maybe I should give it to them quickly. With 49 points out of possible 50, GBHL Thomas Harris.
There you go.
Alright. So, we actually have a couple more awards. So, for absolutely good sport, we actually found the coolest little prize. This is now we think of this as a dragon in training, not quite as big as we'd like him to be. So, we should give it to the man who knows he's going to be great one day. So that goes to first stager Jeremy Smith. This award with 9 points. Goodbye. Thank you. All right. 4 games.
Run smog next year. You already got the mini. You already got the mini. He's already painted. Just put him on the right base. It's good. Good job.
Alright. Well, guys, this has been awesome. Chance that we get 3 different countries, tons of players you never would have met ever, all playing together. Hope you guys had an awesome time. Thanks for coming.
Running. So give it a pause or two and then I'll edit that out. Hey guys, so Brandon and I are here. Just going to want to do a recap of Nova. Basically, first and foremost, I want to thank all the people that we met out there. It was really awesome to travel and then get to meet all, put faces to all the names on the forums and just meet all the people that we've seen online and through the websites and the Facebook and all that stuff. Big thanks to the DCHL guys for putting that all together, especially Devin and you know, Walker and Rob and all them for doing the judging and just they just had so much that they had to juggle over over the weekend, and they had so many people there and so many things going on and so many things to keep an eye on. It was just kind of crazy, and I think they did an outstanding job. You know, we got to meet a lot of the guys that came down from the Canada group. We met. I got a couple of guys that I featured. Some of the Canadian armies that I featured on the movie here previously, and then yeah, just all the people that we met during the Chaos and Arda, and we did what was one of the doubles matches after that. It was cool. We played. We played Matt. I don't know Matt's last name, but him and his son we played in the doubles match, and I thought that was really cool. That you know, he chose his son to be his doubles partner, and the way he played and the way he let his son kind of handle his side of the board and make the decisions. And I thought that was really cool. And then of course then we had the main event, the GT, where and you got to play off against pretty much the entire GBHL force, and I got to play three of my 4 matches were against them as well. So
they were a blast. They really were knowledgeable and just really great guys overall.
Yeah. They yeah. So we got to meet those guys too, which was something that I'd been hoping for ever since basically I started my channel and they started their channel, and we talked back and forth in some messages and some posts and stuff on our channel. So it was really cool to finally get to meet those guys in person. So, and then you know, as far as the award ceremony, I got best painting, so I was pretty stoked about that. And they gave you best sportsman of the show, which was really cool too. So it was kind of like something that Devin kind of worked with the GBHL guys, and they came to a consensus that you were the player. So that was cool.
It was.
Any thoughts you want to talk about your matches or anything in particular about the event?
Let's see. Well, my first round opponent for the GT was running a Harad army, and who had a very high bow count, similar to mine. And it went down. Basically, I won priority, and I was able to fire first, and my shooting was just outrageous in that round. Probably took out about 5 of his guys before he could even shoot back, and at that point he charged, and before he hit my line he was almost broken. So once he did hit my line, however, Suladon got in there and started throwing some heroics, and he started slaughtering my guys, taking like 3 or 4 guys out a round, which was just pretty devastating. But unfortunately it was too late, as I had done all the damage in my shooting on his way up to my guys. So but he was a really nice guy, and it was still a fun round. And I got, what did I get on that one? I got the points for breaking. I didn't score a wound on the enemy leader or kill the enemy leader. I got in on him. I got the surround, I got the heroic strike with Damrod, and it was very close, but I just could not get the wound in on him. His leader was named Nazgul. Can't remember which one, but
is it the Kamul maybe?
I think so. I think it was.
Okay.
It was one of the Easterling. But anyway, and then not Easterling, but the Harad one.
Harad, yeah.
But yeah, and then I got in on his banner as well right there in the end, but just couldn't take it out either. So, but
so you lost a little bit of points first match to that, but
yeah,
you still walked away with a win on it.
Yeah,
so.
still got the win, and then second round I played Jamie, who I also played in Arda with the day before, and I just really enjoyed him. He's a really nice guy, and he's also very helpful with kind of pointing out things, even, you know, like, oh, you have a banner, it's like, oh, thanks, but, you know, appreciate it. It is within range and everything. So he looks out for you. So
that's nice. That's cool, yeah, that he was willing to basically
definitely
put himself at possibly losing for the betterment of the game. Basically saying, hey, just so you know, you have this option, or don't forget this, or stuff like that. That's always good when you have somebody that's willing to do that and basically be, you know, just in the spirit of the game, which is awesome too. Just making sure that it was the best game you could possibly play, and not walk away with, oh, you know what, for 4 rounds I totally forgot I had this going for me or something. So that was really cool of him to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So so then in that round, that was the one where you had to contest the different areas.
There was like 5 objective points that you across the board. One of them was in the center, and then the other 2 you would place, and then your opponent would place the other 2. So you had to control all 5.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had what did I have, like 54 model count. So it was my warband was kind of designed for that, and so I started out on the line. We had objective points right in the middle, and then off to the right and the left of the middle, pretty much right on the line. And then we had one back in the far right corner on my side, and then on the kind of middle right corner on his side. And we rolled, and I got to deploy, and I took that side, which basically, and I lined up right on the line, and he kind of put all his guys back on his one objective, and I just set Fountain Court, and I had one here, a couple here, and basically just held my objective points, and then creeped in on his. I did a heroic charge at the very beginning of the game to, and I hit him on turn 2. Neither of us, we both took shots in the first round, but we didn't get any wounds. Neither of us did with our shots. So, which is kind of crazy because we have such a high bow count. Both of us did. And then I heroic charged, and I wrapped around with Faramir and Kyrian and got behind him. I was trying to get in on Galadriel. Couldn't get her, but what was it? Thranduil got his ability that makes it so that he gets terror, and everybody around him gets terror, and it really was giving me a lot of trouble. I was rolling, and I was missing terror checks with, I think Madriel made him. I sat there for like 3 turns trying to charge, and he was just terrified for like 3 turns. So, but it was fun. Legolas came in and Thranduil, and they did a lot of damage. Eventually, Thranduil got his Nature's Wrath going, knocked all my guys prone, and it all came down to the last turn on that one where we had to figure out, we did a total count right around there. I had Kyrian, I had Faramir in on there, I had Galadriel, and then we had Legolas, who was just outside of the, or looked like it was on the line. We couldn't decide, and we were trying to figure it out, and we were trying to decide if we should call a judge or whatever, and then Jamie said, well, why don't we just do this, 1, 2, 3s, and 4, 5, 6 he's not. And I was like, dude, that's a great idea. Let's just go ahead and do that. And it ended up rolling in favor of him not being in, which ended up being, what is that total score of 10 to 1?
10 to 1, wow.
10 to 1, yeah. So, I don't know, it was, he was a great sport about it, and he was talking to me, and he was like, this is a terrible matchup, and I was like, yeah, I know. It's just high model count, and it's tough to...
Yeah, the Gondor force that you fielded was really solid. It had a high model count, you had a lot of might spread across several heroes, and again, you had your defense 6 line all the way down with your rangers that have decent shooting, and they're also over the shoulder for that second attack in that fight 4. So I think it's a really strong force. I think it's one of the better forces that I've seen out there. I saw a lot, just looking at a lot of the builds. I mean, I saw a lot of Elvish builds with. I mean, we saw Legolas almost. I saw Legolas in almost every match, and so I mean, there's obviously something to him. So I mean, he's definitely for his points way undercosted for what he does. So did get to face a lot of Legolas. I saw a lot of Thranduil too. Not the new Thranduil, but the old school, the one that had the Nature's Wrath and the circlet and all that stuff. So, and then yeah, it was either Galadriel or I played one list that had Tauriel instead of Galadriel, but there was a lot of elves there. Saw a couple of Isengard armies too, and Grima. I faced Grima actually twice. Yeah, both times he was real hard to deal with. I mean, they would deploy right in the center of my heroes, and I had to either put models on them to keep them from following my army, or chalk up the fact that those heroes basically are not going to be able to use their might because Grima's there. So that was tough to play around as well. So I mean, yeah, overall, I mean, it was really a good turnout. We played some really good players. I learned a lot as far as about the game.
Same. So did I.
The Sorcerer's Blast got me. I was not aware of that. It's in the books, and I should have read it more clearly. But I had the Witch King GBHL James dismounted the Witch King turn 1 in our match, and it was because I had pulled the Witch King in on one of his cavalry models, so that he couldn't target me with bow fire, other than Legolas. So I'm like, that's fine. I'll take the one in the way with Legolas, you know, the auto hit with Legolas, and try and avoid that fate, or make that fate roll if he wounds it, as opposed to let him shoot me, you know, 18, 19 times with elven bows. So I got him based in there, and then I based in another model on the other side of it to get the trap. Well, it was my priority, so that it went to him, and with Gandalf, he moved Gandalf in, and he Sorcerer's Blast the Númenórean that I brought in on the fight. And because he targeted the Númenórean and not the Witch King, I didn't get a resist roll. But the rules state that everybody in that combat is knocked prone. So the Witch King, in a roundabout way, was knocked prone because he couldn't resist the spell, but he was in part of that combat, so I lost my Felbeast turn 1. And then Legolas, he had brought Legolas on my left flank, and he called a heroic and got behind my lines and got in on my shaman and killed my shaman, so I lost my Felbeast and Fury turn 1 in that game. So it was, I mean, he brought it to me pretty hard. But then I was able to come back from that, just because, you know, the model count was really in my favor. You know, with that list, I didn't bring really any named heroes. There's just a bunch of generic heroes, a lot of orcs, and then the Witch King with the crown. So, you know, it was more of a themed army for my display board and all that stuff. And because of that, I was able to run a lot more orcs and Morannon orcs than I normally would field with that. But I wound up, because of the numbers, holding a lot of multiple objectives, and because he didn't go in and finish the Witch King the following round, the Witch King actually played a big part later on in the game of compelling some of his cavalry models that were parked on a couple of objectives and turning those fights in my favor, and I actually won a couple of those objectives behind him because the Witch King was allowed to continue on foot while the main fight was going on, and so he was kind of back there and causing some chaos. So it was fun. It was definitely a challenging game. It was fun. So all the matches were really good. My last match, I went up against Matt, who it was the guy that we played in doubles, the one with that played with his son, and he was playing another Elven mix with Thranduil, Legolas, and he had Tariel instead of Galadriel, and yeah, he rolled for deployment. It was to the death. He rolled deploy. He got 5, 5, and a 6. So all of his warbands were basically at the edge of the table. And I had I put all my guys on the center line, and I called heroic marches, and I did everything I could to get up to his elves. But in literally 2 rounds of shooting, he had shot almost 16. No, he shot 16 of my guys dead. I didn't pass my Fury or any of that stuff, so I was basically down almost 2 warbands when I clashed into him, and by then his numbers will equal to mine, which means his fighting became a huge factor, you know. So there was nothing I could do at that point. He got to pick and choose his fights, and he just crushed me. So
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it definitely was an outstanding trip. Really liked it. Any other thoughts or anything you'd like to say, or?
Oh, we just really had a good time. Learned a lot playing. Well, I played the GBHL all but 1 round, and it was just a really classy group of guys. And again, learned a lot of things about channeling and casting and heroics and just some things that we were playing a little differently here in Colorado than they were playing.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm going to talk to the Colorado group too, because the way we've done channels, heroic channels, and a lot of the heroic phases, we've never played them to the book, and it really kind of opens your eyes, especially on the heroic marches and the heroic moves and stuff, where if that's not called, even if you don't have priority and you don't call it at the beginning of the move phase, when it comes around to your move phase, you don't get to take advantage of that. Like if you wanted to call a heroic channel, but your opponent's going first, so you don't call it. You let him do his moves, and you say, okay, when I move my channel, I want to call a channel Fury. If you didn't announce the fact that you were channeling at the beginning of basically the beginning of the turn, you don't get to channel that. So you either chalk it up and say, oh, I guess I'll wait till next round, or you just do an unchanneled version, which doesn't give you the 5 up to save. You know, so that was a huge one. But I understand why you need to call it first, because in one of my matches where I called a heroic march with my captain, I didn't have priority, but it allowed my opponent, who had Galadriel, to transfix my captain on their move phase to basically prevent him from calling us heroic. So that might was wasted when she landed the spell and he didn't resist. So that makes sense why you would want to have to call them all together first before you allow, you know, the next opponent. Same thing with like a, you know, if I wanted to call her Channel Fury, it will allow Galadriel to maybe cast something on my shaman to waste that might, and so he can't cast Fury because he's transfixed or whatever.
Right.
So it does make sense, but that, yeah, like you said, that's something here in Colorado that we've never played that way, and so we're going to have to get used to playing that way. So.
Yeah. So yeah, Devin and the rest of the guys from the DCHL, they did a great job of you know, running that tournament. I think
Yeah,
it went
making the
smoothly.
judgment calls too, and you know, if you ever had a question or something like that, they came in, they weren't biased in the situations. They basically told you these are the rulings, that type of thing, and you know, they were really cool. And like I said, they did a really good job with the venue and all that stuff and all of those different events they had planned, and just keeping them all going and running. And you know, I'm sure they were there hours ahead of time setting up, and hours after we'd left. You know, each day just either playing pickup games with people that want to play pickup games, or filming for their channel, or doing whatever too. So it was, like I said, it was a great job by everybody. It was just really good to meet so many players that are involved with the game still. You know, as far as Games Workshop goes, you know, it looks like it's kind of, you know, phasing out. I mean, here in Denver, there's just, I don't think, last time I was down to one of the stores, I don't think there's really any Hobbit left on the shelves. So as far as the game being continue to be, you know, developed, it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like it's kind of on the way out the door, but it's really the community, I think, that's keeping this game going. And it's a great game. The miniatures are great, the rules are great, and it's just really fun. There's a lot of lore behind it and everything, and I think overall, you know, the community is really solid. It's just got a lot of quality people. I don't think I met anybody there that I was just like, you know, turned off with playing with or anything like that. So they were all really, really cool people.
Yeah, great community.
Yeah, so it's cool. So, you know, it's kind of our thoughts on it. Like I said, congratulations to the GBHL guys for winning I believe they won doubles, and I also think they won. Tom got first, and I think second went to Damien.
Damien, third James.
Was James third or was James fourth? I know he was up there.
I believe James was third.
Was he third? Wow.
And then
fourth place.
And Tom, I believe it was Tom and Damien who won the doubles.
Did they? Okay.
I think.
Wow.
So that was a first and second, and then first, the two of them. So yeah, they
did really well. Next year,
definitely,
we're gonna have to bring our A game. So, but that was definitely fun, and I just wish we could get a lot more of those tournaments involved. We do have the one coming up here in Denver at the end of the year, the Mayhem in the Mountains. It's going to be a smaller venue. Obviously, it's not at a hotel or anything like that, but just a bunch of the local guys here. And then we've had a couple of guys come in from out of town, and it's a fun 2 days. You get, I believe, 650 points, 2 armies, 1 good, 1 evil, 3 games each with each army. And then, yeah, at the end, we've got prizes and we've got trophies and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a mini Nova, if you would. So, but any chance that we can get together and play competitively, and in addition to doing the world campaign that we do here and other stuff too, we're going to try and get some more battle reports up and stuff like that. So it just kind of reinvigorated us. That's the one thing too, is that when we talked a lot about it after the last day, and we were just really pumped about the game and stuff, and we started talking about lists and what we do different and changing up, and maybe we should try this out and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff we want to bring to the channel and start producing some more content for it and just bring everything up. So, but so anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and comment, and let us know what you thought. If you did go to Nova, please comment below and just let us know who you were and what you were playing, and you know, we'll give a shout out to everybody. So thanks again, guys.
That was actually pretty long-winded too.
Yeah, that's good.
First, the prize for Motor's Arena with 59 kills goes to Brian Killian. This man choice from the vendor section of any type. And he's chosen Easterlings, so he now has as a prize an Easterling army and is now going to start. So, with the second thing, alright, so we're just going to roll through this because I know a lot of you guys are hungry. So next, we're going to go ahead and give out the Best Painted Award. Now, the award only goes really to the top person, but I'm going to tell you the top 3. So, in third place of all those beautiful terrain boards and everything, all armies, we have James Clark. So, I'm just telling you the problem. So, first place. You will get a certificate. They're actually printing that out now. Second person to get a certificate, which is being printed, is Tom Clucci. This man over here.